if I could go back to the beginning of my weight loss journey almost 2 years ago, there's a couple of things that I would do differently. Not because I regret how I did them, because I did eventually change course and I definitely learned a lot along the way, but because now I know how to make progress with a lot less frustration. In today's video, I'm sharing 3 of the biggest things I wish I knew from day one, starting with the one that completely changed how I measured progress. Number 1 is I would track my body composition from the start. When I first started my weight loss journey, I would only focus on weight. So I would get on the scale, hold my breath, and hope and pray for the best. So it was about 4 months into my weight loss journey that I hit my first plateau, and it was actually a subscriber that suggested I get a smart scale, and I didn't really feel the need for that. I didn't want to spend the money, and honestly I just thought it was fluff, but she really enjoyed having hers, and so I gave in and I bought it. Fast forward to today and I've upgraded to the Hume Health Body Pod, and before I go any further, yes, this video is sponsored by Hume Health, but I'm trusting that if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm pretty picky about what I choose to share. I've been on YouTube now almost 2 years, and this is only my second sponsor. I get tons of emails every day from different companies asking me to share their product, and it's not that I don't think they have a good product, it's just that if I'm going to share something with you guys, it needs to be something that I would actually buy with my own money or that I'm really excited about, and this is definitely one of them. So I actually missed my opportunity to buy a Body Pod scale last year during their Black Friday sale, and I was determined that this year that would not happen. So you could imagine how surprised and shocked I was when I got an email from them asking to partner with me. The Body Pod took everything I loved about my smart scale and upgraded it to medical grade accuracy. So unlike regular scales that just measure your lower half, this actually measures your entire body. So your arms, legs, torso, and even your heart. And it's actually the world's first portable body analyzer. So how it works is it has 8 sensors that measure your full body composition with a 98% accuracy. So if you're like me, and you live in the middle of nowhere and you don't have access to an in-body scan or a DEXA scan, this is definitely going to fill that void. The Body Pod tracks over 40 different health metrics like body fat, muscle mass, hydration, and even heart health. But what I love the most about the Body Pod is that it actually explains what your metrics mean and gives you feedback you can actually use, like what to focus on next or how to get back on track. 2 metrics I pay the most attention to are my body fat percentage and muscle mass, because some weeks the scale isn't going to move, but when you see fat going down and muscle going up, that's real progress you can be excited about. Regular smart scales can only give you your measurement, but the Body Pod gives you weekly health reports, exercise videos you can follow, and so much more. This kind of feedback and insight keeps motivation high so you can continue to reach your goals. The Body Pod has over 48,000 positive reviews. That many people can't be wrong. Invest in your health and start tracking a better way today. Okay, so I'm just going to be honest with you guys because that's how I've done my whole weight loss journey here on YouTube, but this is kind of embarrassing. So I got the email saying that the scale was shipped, and I was super excited. And then I get a notification on my phone saying that it's out for delivery. So I'm like doing a happy dance and the whole 9 yards. And then I get the scale and it just sat in my closet for like a week because I was too scared to get on it. I had a lot of scale anxiety, and the reason for that is because I haven't really been doing the best the past 2 months, really longer than that, but definitely like the past 2 months I've gotten really sloppy with my eating habits, and exercise is like basically non-existent. And so I knew that I was going to get on the scale and I wasn't going to be happy with what it revealed. And so sure enough, I get on the scale and I find out that I'm 144.3 pounds, which is 2 pounds heavier than my last update. Now, you guys know, or maybe you don't know, that I am not on Zepbound anymore. I took my last injection the middle of July. And so I really need to rely on the habits that I built while I was on the medication. Not horrible, but I want to nip this in the bud because I see where this is going and I don't like it. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that the fire didn't go out while I'm here yapping. So I'm really excited that I got the scale when I did, because I feel like now I can kind of lock in before the holidays. So yeah, I have a little bit of work cut out for me, but it's not too bad. So if you're like me and you're wanting to track your progress a little bit closer, now is the perfect time to get a body pod, because Hume Health is having their Black Friday sale. So with my code, you can get up to 50% off. I'll make sure to link that in the description for you. And if you're watching this video in the US, please know that this is HSA and FSA eligible. So it might end up being completely covered, which would be amazing. Number 2 is I'd start lifting weights sooner. So it wasn't until month 4 of my weight loss journey that I finally started strength training. And actually, I think it was the scale that kind of really pushed me into that direction, because now I could see how much muscle mass I had. So I knew how important it was to preserve and protect your muscle. And I'm not really sure what took me so long to finally start strength training. I think I just got caught up with not knowing what to do and where to start. And I let that decision paralysis kind of take hold. And so I just kind of ignored it. But my advice to you, if you're someone who wants to start strength training, don't let not knowing where to start get in the way. I would just go on YouTube, find someone that you wouldn't mind following their program a couple of days a week. I started with Kira Mitlow. I will link her channel. And then I switched over to Lift with C. Both of those ladies I thought, were a good fit for me. But yeah, I would just encourage you to find someone that you mesh with and just be consistent with it. I've done so many videos talking about how important muscle is on a weight loss journey. So I'm not going to get too deep into it here, because I don't want this video to be too long, but it's extremely important. Muscle burns fat, and if you want to lose weight, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose, you want to try to avoid all the plateaus, and the way to do that is to make sure that you are holding onto your muscle and even building some. So when I finally started lifting weights, I felt like I had a lot more energy. I finally broke through my stall, and I just felt stronger, and I felt like I looked starting to look a little bit more toned. Another thing too is not only is muscle important for a weight loss journey, it's actually super important in a maintenance journey, because that's what helps keep the weight off long term. So you definitely want to make sure that you're prioritizing strength training. Number 3 is I would reverse diet a lot sooner. So I had been in a calorie deficit for about 10 months when I hit a 3-month stall, and didn't matter what I did, the scale would just not move. It just wasn't budging. And I really started to feel like my body was broken, or that was the lowest weight my body could go down to. And I felt frustrated because I was doing all the right things at that time. I was exercising consistently. My nutrition was dialed in. And again, it just didn't matter what I did. My body just wasn't cooperating. And what I didn't realize at the time is that my body had just adapted. I had been in a deficit for a long time, almost a year, and it was tired. It just needed a break. And that's when I learned about reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is basically increasing your calories until you get to whatever your maintenance calorie range is. And the key to doing this without putting on weight is to do it slowly, but also to increase your calories with quality food. You don't want to increase it with, simple carbs or, really fatty, greasy foods. Ideally, it would be protein. But yeah, you basically do this slowly over the course of several weeks, and you get yourself back up to your maintenance range, and then you just stay there. You just kind of hang out and you let your body breathe. It just needs to rest, right? It's been working really hard, and you've had it in a state of stress, right? When you're in a calorie deficit, it's stressful on the body. And so when you eat at maintenance, you're able to fuel your body properly and give her all the nutrition that she needs, so that when you go back into a calorie deficit, she's rested. And now she can work again and continue losing weight for you. And I know it's hard when you're losing weight to just put it on pause, because you feel like you're losing progress. And it's especially hard if you're paying an arm and a leg for, GLP-1 medications. So I totally get that. Now, anytime anyone emails me or leaves a comment and they're frustrated because they were losing weight and now they've been stuck and they haven't lost anything, and they feel like they're, wasting money on these medications and they're not working and all of that, I immediately tell them, if you've been in a calorie deficit for more than 6 months, give your body a break. And that's what finally broke my 3-month stall. It wasn't that my body was broken, it was just that she was tired. I keep saying I'm going to make a video on that because I get so many questions about it and I just haven't done it, but I will link a video that I did where I go into it in a little bit more detail if you're interested. So if you're starting your journey, just remember that it's not about doing any of these things perfectly. It's really not. It's about being consistent and learning and adjusting and just figuring out what works best for you. And once again, a big thank you to Hume Health for sponsoring this video and developing a product that actually helps people understand what's really going on inside their bodies. Because as we know, it's not just about the number on the scale. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.